Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Mahashem Ekak Madash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, even the elders that came before them that taught us the truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers that push the word of truth and in sincerity from Life Tabernacle of David. I'm the brother / elder. This is the WW3 Daily Update. Shalom and salutations to you all. 2nd Ezra 13 and 28, 29. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth, and he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. All right, so let's see. Try to get that. What is that? 2nd Ezra 13. Let's read this. 13, what? 29 or 1329. 2nd Ezra 13:29 in the GNT. The time is near when God Most High will begin to free the people on earth, right? Meaning you Israelite. At that time, everyone will be close to panic. They will begin to make war against one another. See, woo! At that time, everyone will be close to panic. That's where we are right now. Close to panic. And then the panic is going to happen. They will begin, here we are, they will begin to make war against one another. City against city, right? Washington, D.C. against Chicago. Region against region. Middle East, hell, against Babylon the Great. Nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. When that happens, the signs I told you about earlier will take place. Okay? And then I will reveal my son whom you saw as a man coming out of the sea. When they hear his voice, all the nations will leave their own territory, forget their wars with one another, and come together in one great crowd too large to count. As you saw in your dream, that great crowd is that one big army. They stopped fighting each other and came together with a single purpose. The single purpose of making war on Yahweh. Anyway, that's in the GNT. So, with that, we're going to let Skeletor here speak. Skeletor speaks, and then we're going to let this guy, Travis, speak after that. The homesteaders, the preppers. Take it away, Skeletor. Go.
Everyone, this war between Russia and Ukraine is very far from over. I have some footage running behind me that Ukrainian forces released through some of their official channels. They had people on the ground. Ukrainian forces are said to have carried out some drone strikes on Russian target areas. I'm going to go ahead and show this footage here because it doesn't show any casualties or anything else. But you can definitely see a lot of destruction is continuing in this conflict. This leader of the country of Ukraine. Ukraine has said, and the U.S. president have both spoken out against this, and they've said, listen, it doesn't really matter. This is the peace deal that is going to have to be signed. Now, what's really happening here? We have two factions at play. You have the deep state in the United States of America running with the military-industrial complex. They both want not just a never-ending conflict, but they also want those resources and minerals underneath the Ukrainian soil. Here's another video of that footage. Now, the United Nations, together with the European Union, they are already up in arms with this because they know that there's just one last chance here. Russia is very, very close to throwing out their nuclear weapons on this conflict. We could even see the release of a biological weapon very soon, or some sort of chemical weapon.
Right, now he's going into Eve there in Cracker Barrel, so we will go here and let Travis speak on what? Another war front opening. This one's close to home. He must be talking about South America. And if you know anything about the Fort Bragg cartel, then you know that the jig is up, and America is the biggest cartel on the face of the earth. Take it, Travis. 5 hours. This is all recent news. Just a couple of quick clips, bring you up to speed. What does it mean? Another war front opening. It means World War III. Not just in the Middle East. Take it, Travis.
So, I think that there's a new front in the proxy war with Russia and China. A lot of what has happened in the respect of wars that's going on, whether wars that's already kind of ended, ongoing. In the end, and I've talked about this many times, you already get this, but in the end, they're just proxy wars. The wars between the United States and China, and with China, it's also Russia and Iran and
Listen to all the names. Listen to all the wars. Okay? We're in the panic right before, them wars take off in earnest.
Korea and stuff. And it looks like maybe even now India and Pakistan. Pakistan always.
Everywhere, the whole world.
So basically BRICS. That's what it is. It's BRICS versus the United States, which is why I keep going back to, in the end, it's all about the money. Wars are always about make money. And right now we're in the process. We're in the middle, maybe, of a new world order centered around a new currency. And it's this battle between the U.S. dollar and BRICS or Chinese yuan or whatever it is, digital stuff. And so there's a new front that's being developed, and that's down in Venezuela. And I think it's definitely something to pay attention to and be a little concerned because it's now in our hemisphere. It's getting closer to us, right? So in recent days, there have been numerous warships being sent down to the Venezuela area. There's some already there. There's more being sent, and then there's also a bunch more being sent down in the Caribbean. So they're close. They're kind of in a staging area where they can pretty rapidly deploy into Venezuela. And we're talking, destroyers, battleship type, ships, missile launch systems, attack subs, several ships with Marines on them that are designed to be used to storm beaches. In other words, an invading force. Venezuela has been responding to that by calling up reserves and militia. They say they've got about 15,000 now staged along this. And we have been hearing from the Trump administration that this is all because of drug flow out of Venezuela. Now, of course, I don't deny that or disagree that there's drugs flowing out of Venezuela. I mean, I'm sure most of it's funded and controlled by our very own CIA. But Venezuela certainly isn't the only place that drugs are coming out of. That's just one of the places. Get at it.
Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
It just seems like a dramatic response for just drugs, right? Because, honestly, right now, while there's still things like cocaine and other manufactured drugs in that way, one of the biggest problems in America is illegal pharmaceutical type drugs, stuff that's coming out of China, fentanyl and things like that. Well, there's a little bit more to that story about Venezuela. Mark Rubio, the Secretary of State, has recently spoken about it. And number one, our government, which again, this is something I don't disagree with, but our government has stated that the leadership of Venezuela is illegitimate. They stole an election. They're illegitimate. It's communists, and it's not.
Like Zelensky is legitimate, right? Come on. Come on, come on. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to look this up one time just for some balance. Let's type this in. Fort Bragg. What is it called? Cartel. The Fort Bragg Cartel. Let's see if anything, because it's really new information. The Fort.
Tolerated. But it's more to that. He's also stated that Iran has several manufacturing facilities in Venezuela.
Do they? The Delta Force cover-up. Fort Bragg Cartel. See how new this information is? This guy came out and said something about it. 13 days. Fort Bragg Cartel and the history of U.S. military's drug trafficking. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. The Fort Bragg is an Army base in North Carolina where the 82nd Airborne lives. Right? Seth Hart exposes murder and drug trafficking taking place inside America's largest military. 12 days. See how new all this information is? How long has this been going on? This goes back to Freeway Ricky and all of that. See? 12 days, they just letting this shit out. Look at this. Fort Bragg Cartel. How about the Fort Bragg Cartel? So, what the big bad cartels down in Mexico? Well, wait, what about Fort Bragg? What about the American? What the hell was going on in Afghanistan? Oh, you was getting them poppies together. Revelation 11 and 14 in any version. Second woe has passed. Behold, the third woe is coming shortly. With that, we hope that the elect ratified you, brothers. And you, Sister Shalom.